All right, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today's video, if you saw my previous one, we kind of did the new range in the Rapsodo app with the MLM2 Pro. Well, today we're going to go back and take a look at one of the courses that I've played recently a few months ago. Now that they've added some elevation, kind of take a look and see what that brings, see how much more realistic playing in the Rapsodo courses may be. All right, so I am connected to the MLM2 Pro. Just to go over the setup today, in case you haven't seen the previous videos, we do try to stick to the minimum recommended settings by the manufacturer. That way you can kind of see how well this maybe works in your smaller space. So from the MLM2 Pro to the impact screen, we are laser measured at 14.5 feet. And then from the red T that marks on the ground here, we are 8 feet laser measured to the impact screen. So we're going to be hitting with 8 feet of ball flight. And then we've got between the ball and the device, 6.5 feet, which gives you that overall minimum recommended specs by Rapsodo. All right, so we're going to click into courses real quick. We are going to go back out to Payne's Valley down in Hollister, Missouri, just south of Branson. Before in the previous videos, I played the Tiger T, so we'll continue to do that so we can get a direct side-by-side comparison here. We're indoors in the net. We are using the Callaway RPT Chrome Soft Ball. We'll select the holes. We're just going to play a few holes. Before we did 4, 5, and 6. Kind of gives us a par 3, par 4, and a par 5. We'll put the graphics quality on high. And then we'll turn the terrain penalty on just to kind of see how that is. We'll leave the automatic putting where it's at. So inside of 10 feet, we get an auto 1 complete. Inside of 30, you get an auto 2. Then outside of that, if you're on the green, you're going to get an auto 3 putt. Basically here at the bottom is kind of what they've added most recently in the last couple months. That's elevation. Now it does still claim to be in beta, so it's something that they are still working on it as they've released it. We will turn that on to get the elevation. All right, so real quick, we're going to get a flyby of the first hole here. Immediately, you can tell it looks like there's more trees along the right-hand side. You can see some slope to the fairway. The bunkers actually look like they have depth to them. And then, obviously, the water there. So, we are still aligned here. All right, so here's a side-by-side of hole 4. On the left-hand side, we've got the old one, the old version. And then on the right-hand side, you've got the new version with the elevation added. All right, and one of the bugs that kind of have been reported, and I think they're going to fix this in an upcoming update, is used to you could aim or choose your aim point on the mini map on the right-hand side here, but unfortunately you have to almost use it like a mouse cursor now out here in the middle of the screen. So we'll go ahead and set our aim point kind of between the two bunkers there. We'll go up here, we'll select my driver, and we'll get started. All right, so probably got about 20 shots, 25 shots in so far today. So hopefully we can play pretty well. Hopefully I can continue to hit this thing pretty solid. I've been changing some things in my swing with it, so it's kind of been hit or miss with the driver here lately. All right, a little bit of a cut. It's kind of what I've been working on. I think that's going to work. All right, and you can tell just by the ball roll out there, the physics, we do have some slope. Before it was just completely flat, so it was just going to bounce and just continue on its normal path. All right, and so before when I played this, 240 over water is going to be kind of a tall ask. So I'm going to come back here. Yeah, this using the iPad itself, the middle of the screen to try to move this cursor seems to be kind of a pain. It'll be really appreciated whenever they do fix that and put it back on the mini map. All right, so looks like we probably got a total of 185, 190 carry before we run out of fairway. So I'm just going to kind of hit maybe a good 8-iron and just lay up. Just kind of a solid 8-iron. Probably going to carry like 165-ish. Now, use just about all of it that I could. All right, so we can already see up there on the mini map, I've got 74 yards left. All right, so we got 74 yards left. Now, one thing that has kind of also plagued the game as far as ball physics in gameplay in the Rapsodo courses is no matter if you hit a high spinning wedge shot, it always seems to bounce and bound forward like 8 to 10 yards. So most likely I'm going to try to hit something that's really closer to probably 66 yards, 65 yards maybe here to try to get it close to the actual pin. They haven't fixed that yet, but I do think that is something that maybe is coming in the next update as well, so that you maybe actually will see it stop or actually even spin back. About 65 yards here. Might be a little short of that. No. Wow. Did not feel like I hit it that hard. All right, so now we ended up in that auto 3-putt zone. So we were actually going to end up taking a bogey on this first hole. All right, there it is. Popped up with a 6, and that's our little mini scorecard. All right, so here is the second hole we're going to play, hole 5. It's a par 3. You can kind of see, like, elevation does look kind of wonky because, I mean, you've almost got a straight up side hill there that bunker is on, but at least it is giving you some depth. And if you noticed over here, too, the cart path looks like it actually goes down into the water, which, I mean, it does kind of flood down there sometimes, but that's kind of crazy. All right, here's hole 5. The side-by-side, just the same. You've got the old version on the left, and then you've got the new version with the elevation on the right. But we're 183 yards to the target. Because it's probably going to bounce forward and everything, I need to probably look to land this probably closer to like 173. So we're going to try to hit a little bit of a cut 7-iron. All right, so I'm going to try to cut the 7-iron in there, take a little bit off of it. It's going to cut, but still might have got too much of it. Whoa, ball. Whoa, ball. Yeah. Hit it a little bit further than I wanted to, but that'll work out. We ended up in the auto 2-putt zone, so we're going to end up with a par here on the second hole. Yeah, it still seems like we have that bound problem, like even with spin into greens, like we should see it stop a little bit quicker and maybe even see it back up, especially with wedges. So can't wait until they kind of add that. All right, so now we went bogey par, and now we're going to move on to the par 4 sixth. All right, we got a right to left sloping fairway. You got a bunker in the middle of the fairway, a couple bunkers on the left-hand side. But other than that, this is kind of a pretty straightforward par 4. Here's hole 6 side by side. Again, we've got the old version, the last time I played it, on the left, and then we've got the new version that I just am playing in this video on the right. But I do enjoy that it looks much better from the tee box because with the elevation, you're not just kind of getting a flat layout there. So again, we're going to manipulate the landing area or the aim point here. I typically like to aim almost at that bunker directly because it's almost 320 to get in the bunker, and I usually am never going to hit it straight at it anyway. I'm always going to have a little bit of a cut or a little bit of a draw, I feel like, on the shot. So we'll just set that up there. Hopefully I can hit another drive just like I did on that first hole. A little bit of a cut. Felt pretty decent, and it is going to be a little bit of a cut. Hopefully we just stay left of the bunker. Didn't think I could get in it, and I don't think if I would have hit that right at the bunker, it would have made it there either, so that's why I usually choose that as my aim point. All right, so it looks like we've got 134 yards left, 1 feet downhill, and this is kind of where, with that spin not working correctly or right, normally I'd probably hit a nice, maybe even a cut pitching wedge into this hole and probably get it to stop pretty quickly, but because I know it's going to bounce forward probably a good 8 to 10 yards, I'm actually going to try to, hit the top distance on my 50-degree wedge here. So we'll change clubs real quick. Wrong one. Not the lob wedge. The approach wedge. All right, and if I'm hitting this approach wedge pretty well, typically I can kind of carry it 120 to 124-ish. So I'm kind of banking on that to get me close, and then hopefully it bounces, like I said, a good 8 to 10 yards forward. So kind of just gaming this system a little bit here. Might have pulled that a little bit to the left, though. Yeah. Trying to hit it harder. Just pulled it. Oof. In the bunker. So unfortunately, I kind of overcooked that one a little bit, just trying to get a little more distance out of that club. But at least that's the bad thing. The good news is kind of maybe be able to show you a little short chipping and see how if that's improved or if that's still kind of a question mark here. So we'll see if we can get this kind of close. Oh, went a little bit long, but I feel like it stopped pretty quick. So 20-yard carry, 23 overall. We ended up in that auto 2-putt complete zone. So unfortunately, that is also going to give us another bogey. So we're going to end up 2 over for this demo today. But at least the good news is, it did read the chip. I know that was a 20-yard carry, so I mean it's not really a short chip, and we will probably do some testing here in the near future as far as like how short chipping is actually doing and how low it can go. I know I've kind of done that video before, but we'll try it again, especially now that we've kind of updated the app a few times and we've gotten new firmware on the actual device. All right, so when you complete your round, this is kind of what you're going to get. You're going to kind of get an overview there. It gives me my score. It's 2 over, fairways in regulation 2 for 2, and then greens in regulation 2 for 3. Let's take a look at the scorecard real quick, and then you just kind of see your numbers there on what hole you did what. So we just click off of that anywhere, and it kind of takes us back to this page. So we'll go ahead and click finish round. And then in case you haven't seen my previous video where we reviewed the new range, I kind of talked about that. This black hole here, or that dot, I recently, a couple days ago, actually hit a wedge shot that went through the screen. I've had this screen for 2 years at least, I think now. So I don't know how many tens of thousands of shots I've hit into it. And if you were to get really close to that area, you'll kind of see it's kind of getting worn thin, and I think that's just because that's where a lot of my high spin wedge shots hit. So I could have maybe avoided that a little bit if I would have rotated my screen before now, but I do have another screen on order on the way, so I will be doing a video whenever we put that up just to kind of compare between this one and that one. But yeah, that is actually a hole in the screen if you were wondering. All right, I want to thank you guys for watching the video today. If you got something out of the video or you like this kind of content, make sure to like the video. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do so. That helps the channel out. We're trying to grow this thing as big as we can so I can do more launch monitors and do more golf review stuff for you here in the simulator. So again, I want to thank you for watching. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you in the next one.